In recent years, we have seen the rise of passport bros. It's a movement of men, predominantly from the US and the UK, Western countries. They have decided they're not going to date women in their countries anymore. They're going to date women from other countries. A lot of times places which are of a lower economy and where their culture is more traditional. Now, there's a few reasons why a lot of these men have decided to go this way. First one on the list is that they will say women from foreign countries, let's say like from Colombia or Thailand, tend to be more feminine. Because what you will find in like first world countries like the United States and UK is that a lot of women are independent. They make their own money, they look after themselves, and a lot of times they will say they don't need a man. Yeah, they can do bad all by themselves. Their mum taught them, you know, never depend on a man, etc, etc. So they go out in the world basically living like a man. It's going to be very difficult for them to take the follower role in a relationship with a man because they've been doing everything themselves anyway. They feel like they're the leader. So when a man does come into their life, there's going to be resistance to taking the man's lead. A lot of times there's just an attitude which men just do not really appreciate that much. And a lot of times they feel that they are actually better than the majority of men. So this causes a problem that a lot of men are just not prepared to deal with anymore. Especially when you know that there are women out there that will allow you to be the leader in the household or leader in the relationship. And they will greet you with feminine energy. What you will find in countries which are culturally more traditional is that the women are encouraged and nurtured to be very appreciative of the men in their life. Whereas again, in the West, a lot of women are just independent bosses, and really and truly a lot of men just don't want to couple up with that. You don't want to go out in the world trying to make money and then you come back home and then you still got another conflict at home. You still got to contend with somebody at home. And like, I mean, no one wants that. Like, most men just want peace. Another benefit of dealing with these women from these foreign countries which are of a lower economy is that they're cheaper to maintain. In the West, with high economies and high paying jobs, you know, it tends to be very materialistic. Even though it's a higher economy country, the majority of people are still going to be on an average wage. So if you're around a lot of women who are demanding that you make six figures when the majority of men do not make six figures, there's a problem there. And we've heard it many, many times on social media and in real life where women are saying he should pay all the bills. And really and truly, these women are talking about traditional men when they aren't traditional women themselves. Now, if you're dealing with women from these other countries, they're going to be more appreciative. Your money in these countries is going to go further, so live a higher quality life, a better lifestyle, and protect and provide to a higher degree for this foreign woman in her foreign land. And I believe that women in the West are not going to budge on their materialism, their consumerism, and their dating requirement that they want a man that finances her life. I don't think a lot of women are going to budge on that, because for the sheer fact that they're independent and they make their own money themselves. Another aspect that a lot of passport bros voice is that the women in these foreign countries are just better looking. What you'll find is that a lot of these women in these low economy countries, they live actually a healthier lifestyle because they're more active. They're probably not driving everywhere. They're probably walking, eating a better diet, a more natural diet. Whereas in the West, men and women tend to be a lot lazier. The diets are very poor. So what you tend to find is when you go to these other countries where these women get a lot more sun, they're eating better, they're more active, the women just tend to be in better shape and tend to be just better looking. Simple. So that's three major reasons why a lot of men decided to go to these foreign countries to date and have relationships and even get married. The women are more feminine. They are cheaper to maintain. A lot of times they just look better. Now, to go on to some of the problems that passport bros may face. Number one, there's the language barrier. So let's say, for instance, you're a guy from New York and you go to Colombia and you don't speak Spanish. That's a huge problem. how are you going to communicate? Yes, there's Google Translator and all that stuff, but it's not the same type of communication, the same level of like your interaction. It's just not going to be the same. You're not going to pick up on all the subtle nuances, and you're just not going to have that same kind of smooth interaction. You still may meet women that will be open to talking to you through Google Translate, but I think at times that will prove to be very tedious. I would suggest that any man that really wants to be a passport bro and wants to date and have relationships in specific countries is learn the country's language. That would be a top priority. Another issue that comes to mind is that some of these women may be just out to use you. They may play the game and act like they really like you, etc., etc., and they'll be, you know, encouraging you to take them back to the United States or England or wherever you're from, because, you know, they can see themselves having a better life. You make the mistake of bringing them back to your home country. She starts to change, and then the next thing she's leaving you, but now she's got a residence in that country. You got to be very, very careful, man. A lot of women are very good at manipulation and acting. You know, they can make you feel like they really like you, they really love you, and then, you know, once the mission is complete, they could change into a completely different person. And just because she's from another foreign land doesn't mean that she can't do that to you. Other ways where they may be trying to use you is they could be trying to rob you. We've heard many cases of men, passport bros or expats, going to places like Colombia, #1 on the list, and getting robbed, getting drugged, and even getting deleted. This is a very dangerous aspect. Any man who's deciding to go to a foreign land, you need to be aware of the dangers of that land. Because again, if you don't speak the language, you don't know anyone there, and all you're thinking is, okay, I'm gonna go there with my camera and my iPhone, and I'm gonna go there with my dollars or my pounds, and I'm just gonna ball out and then get some bad bees. I mean, bro, like, it could possibly go perfect, but it could possibly go horribly wrong. These women that engage in robbing foreigners are ruthless. They do not care. They have no sympathy at all. I think that tends to happen to a lot of guys who may be just going to these foreign lands to sleep with these women. But it is possible it could still happen to a passport bro who has, you know, honorable intentions. Like you could just be out trying to meet women while you're out or on dating apps and etc, etc, and, you know, you could unfortunately match with the wrong girl, and you could just wake up with your passport, wallet, computer all gone and naked. I think there's always pros and cons in everything, but I just think that men have to be very logical in what they're doing. So my final thought on passport bros is that I understand fully where they're coming from. I think that, you know, if you can go to another environment and get better results, you should definitely do that. You know, I think that location plays a big part in how successful you're going to be. And, you know, if the women that are in your territory are not cooperating with you, or, you know, they're rejecting you or whatever, then you may need to move and you may need to go to another country. And, you know, there's a lot of examples of men who have done that and they're living their best life, and, you know, hats off to them, to be honest. It's funny because you hear a lot of women try to disparage passport bros and, you know, try to throw shaming lines at passport bros, but to be honest, like, I don't think these guys care. Once they get on that plane and they're breathing foreign air, I don't think then guys care. It's just irrelevant. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you are a passport bro, or if you're thinking about becoming a passport bro, or if you don't agree with passport bros. If you are a passport bro or you want to do it, let me know the countries you're thinking about visiting. And if you've done it already, let me hear your experiences in the comments below. As always, make sure you hit the like button. We need like 500, at least 500 likes under each and every one of these kind of videos. Anyway, with that being said, I'm signing out. You lot take care of yourselves. I'm out.